The video for the 29th of December 2016 is titled A Century of Mass Deception. The 20th century was perhaps the worst period of fraud in human history. Beginning in 1913, the fraud was perfected with the creation of the Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue Service. This was followed by the push by Churchill to create a terrorist nation named Israel. While the latter did not come into being until 1948, attempts were begun in the second decade of the century. I applaud Obama if he was, in fact, responsible for the U.S. abstaining from the most recent vote in the UN. Without a doubt, Israel is a terrorist nation. And while many still buy into the deception, it is time for humanity to wake up and see the facts that have been hidden through the complicity of mainstream media. If we will ever have peace on earth, we must stop the funding of never-ending war, financed by the false Jewish international bankers we know as the Rothschilds and their U.S. counterparts, the Rockefellers. Indeed, and I need to sit up a little bit. Indeed, for me, the handwriting has been on the wall for a long time. And I've been up, it's not even, well, it just now turned 6 a.m. So I'm actually starting this video before 6 o'clock in the morning, my time. And I've been up pondering things for over an hour, including the making of this video. And I've been I received already this morning more notification that the RV is going to happen before the end of the year. Well, I've been hearing that the RV is imminent. The RV being the revaluation of currency, of which the dinar and the zim are two primary currencies that are supposed to make people rich, that people have invested in. And as I've said before, I hold one zim note, just one. And I don't know if that's ever going to be cashed in. I am of the place of not believing at all. Everything good that I've ever been told didn't happen. Lots of things that are bad that have happened in my life did happen, even though I took and employed remedies to prevent them from happening, like the theft of my home. They happened anyway. And even though I had gone on a vegetarian diet at one point, I still ended up having to have major heart surgery. So remedies that I've employed throughout my life, including working for RUSA, which Drake said in the thing that I listened to yesterday, that Tim Turner was a shyster, a fraud, and I guess he didn't say that he belongs in jail, but I guess that's what he believes, and that's, of course, where Tim Turner is, as far as I know. But I've been involved in lots of things to bring about real change, and I thought that that was going to happen by 2011, 2012 at the latest. That was the latest. And I started doing videos in January 2011 in preparation for those changes. And here it is, 2017 almost, and the changes still haven't happened, but they're still making promises. And these promises have been ongoing since Clinton was leaving office and George Bush Jr. was just coming into office with another stolen election, because all elections are rigged. I don't believe the Trump election was rigged, however. They did not expect the turnout that they got, and so they had rigging in place, but it was insufficient to actually accomplished the task of getting Hillary in the position of US president. But what I'm saying about what I'm talking about in this video is that we have been victims of deception all of our lives, not just in the 20th century, but of course, those of us that are living now, most of us except children, were born in the 20th century. And that's when we recognized the deception, and when the deception began to be uncovered in the latter part of the 20th century. But it's still going on. And it's been going on for millennia before the 20th century. Millennia, not even centuries, millennia, thousands of years. And as I've said before, this, to me, lays at the hand of whatever God is, but I'm wondering if there even is a God that's involved, if there is an omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent being that actually plays a role in creation or in life as we know it. I wish there was. I wish there was. But I've been deceived, and everybody else has been deceived too. I'm at least in the place where I'm willing to admit that I've believed things that just simply weren't true, or were at best wishful thinking, like the kingdom of heaven on earth and stuff like that. I hope I'm wrong in all of this, folks. I don't want this to be the truth. I want there to be a real kingdom of heaven. I want there to be justice and truth and peace on earth. I want the ideals that we have looked at and recognized for a long time to actually become manifest, but the wheels of deception have turned and ground us down and ground us down and ground us down. They have messed with our DNA. They have screwed around with everything that can be screwed around with. And when I say they, I'm talking about evil entities. I'm talking about demons. I'm talking about devils. I'm talking about people that pretend to be human, but they're not. They're some other type of being that have morphed into a human persona, but they're not in actuality human beings. They're a hybrid at best of demons with humans. And this is the type of world that we live in. And I have spent my entire life playing roles and doing what I thought was necessary to bring about and the manifestation of the promises that I've believed since I was a childhood. That is, again, to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. Not pie in the sky and a sweet by and by. Not what something that happens when we die. That's what we've believed, and we've never fulfilled anything and brought anything of substantive value to the planet. We've always put it off into some nether region, some pretend heaven somewhere else. And they say, well, this is just an illusion. Well, it's the illusion that we have to deal with in what we see as our lives. And will our lives ever make sense if we only have the illusion? No, they won't. What we believe of as good promises need to come to pass. They need to be brought into actual manifestation. And we need to get rid of the mass deception that has blanketed this planet throughout the recent millennia, thousands of years of history. We need to get beyond that. But the 20th century has been the worst and the best in the sense that we're aware of it. I think for the first time in human history, we've become aware of the deception, which is a good thing. So I will do my best to keep plugging as long as I can. I don't know what's going to happen in 2017, as I said in the last video, but I will still be wishing and hoping and working toward the kingdom of heaven on earth. Thank you for listening. Namaste.